How's it, everyone? Welcome to Race Space. We are back for the endurance leg of this uh, X Series race at Le Mans Bugatti circuit here in France. Yeah, I think this is round 7 of the championship, so we're getting there. Hey, we're moving quite a way through this championship now. And I'm K9, and joining me on the stream tonight is Radtech, who was racing on Monday, but he's back on the commentary with us. How's it going, man?
Yeah, man, all good, all good. It's back in my usual seat, commentary, rather than being in the car.
Yeah, it's unlucky for you. I mean, we would have had Carlo, obviously, but he's busy, and I guess hopefully by next week we'll have Carlo back in a car anyway. So yeah,
back to the normal routine. So yeah, all works out well. And to be fair, I did kind of struggle around this track myself on Monday night.
It is a track that I generally struggle around. There's just something about it. Some of these turns I just never seem to get right.
Yeah, it seems to really drag the car out on the faster turns, especially, and did make a couple of mistakes. So did spend a bit of time making a setup, but we shall never know. Never know whether it worked. I'm sure these guys are going to have fun out there tonight. We've got a new person as well joining us, Mark QWERTY.
Yeah, it's good to have him. We're also down another driver other than you, down Pressure tonight. Apparently his wheel has been sent away.
Yeah, unfortunately for him, he must give them steering wheels some abuse. I believe it wasn't that old as well, I think.
Pretty strong, maybe.
Yeah, it should be a good race. I mean, obviously you got Kenny, the front runner, who showed his pace the other night in the sprint race. Kento, not too far. Motormouth having a strong performance as well, wasn't he?
Yeah, that was an amazing performance from Motormouth. I mean, it's nice for him to have a good run for once. He's been having issues with some of these races we've done. So
yeah, definitely. Nice to see him having a solid performance in the car. Hope tonight goes just as well for him. I think talking to him before the race, he was on about he'd changed his setup to the loose standard setup, and that worked for him a lot better. So
I generally race most of the cars with a loose setup. I don't change too much. And I think these cars work well with that. I mean, you can sort of, they're stable enough you can throw them around a bit.
Yeah, definitely can. So,
anyways,
two blue cars out there, but they're different
not teammates,
aren't they? Yeah,
not teammates. Those two. We got Kento at the back right now. He's in that lighter blue one of Galaxy Racing. That's Roy's teammate, Rock, but Rock obviously also with wheel issues. He wasn't able to join this week. He should hopefully be back pretty soon though, when his wheel's sorted. We got G32 sitting there currently on pole, but remember they got to do their formation lap. This isn't the order they will be starting in. Kenny will be starting on pole with his usual well, I don't want to say make him sound too much better than anyone else, but he sort of he led the way with relative ease on Monday. So yeah, let's see what he can do now. We know that it's not a guaranteed win tonight for Kenny, because he has had some issues in some previous races, so I think it's anyone's game.
Yeah, generally he is Mr. Consistency, isn't he, for lap time, and that's where it really comes into his own.
But he can still make a mistake just like anyone else. So.
Yeah.
Somebody's stuck there on the thing, or it's just waiting maybe. I think he might just be waiting.
These guys just get into formation now.
Remember, Mark QWERTY, also the only guy here on controller that I know of. He's going to be at the back there.
So yeah, already into formation, going into this warm-up lap.
livery of the car at the back, that one with Marquetti, same as Prescia's livery there. That one reminds me so much of an RX Cartel livery from the Rallycross, the World Rallycross. It's got that, like,
it does, yeah.
dark with the line. It's like a straight. It's a cool livery. I like that one.
It is a nice colour blue as well. That is nice, darker colour.
So Kenny currently leading this formation lap. Everyone's looking okay out there. I suppose that's the one thing about having a slightly smaller lineup, is it's easy to find your position in the formation.
Yeah, it definitely is. Is there any other overlays that you've found helpful? The map's always quite good just to see where gaps are.
Maps okay. To be honest, I'm usually just focused on the racing. I don't really pay attention too much of. There's enough to watch with the cars. I don't read too much into it. I just check the times out now and again, see how quick guys are going.
Tyre temperatures around this track, I noticed the other night, they did drop off quite quickly, or took a while to warm up. So,
well, it is winter season here in France, so that'll be why it's a bit colder than usual.
Not many guys weave in to keep any tyre temperature. I don't think it does anything really. I think keeping the brakes hot, that's what I like to do on these warm-up laps, and just helps keep a bit of tyre temperature in, but it might just be psychological, but sometimes psychological stuff helps as well, doesn't it, out on track?
Yeah. So they're about to start their lap here. Remember, they can line up side by side here, but it doesn't look like they're going to. Looks like they're doing the full line.
G32 is looking like he's got a bit of pace onto the back of Kanto.
Obviously had a good run there. Also, Kento right on the back of Motormouth already.
I mean, you can see from the way that the guys are racing now, they know that a race isn't won on this first lap on this hour endurance. Find your rhythm, get your temperatures up.
And there's the pit stop strategy that comes into play as well, so you've got to be very careful not to add too much time to your stop. I mean, if you pick up a bit of damage and you've got damage to be repaired, that's some extra time in the pit.
Kanto looking a bit tasty at the moment. I'm looking at the back of Motormouth, and G32 on the back of Kanto, so they're eyeing up Motormouth.
He's curious, definitely. He's taking a couple looks here and there. He's seeing what he's got to work with, I think.
He's weighing him up. If I was Kanto, I'd be putting my lights on now, give him that pressure. Kenny, bit of a slide coming around that corner, but all under control.
But yeah, from second to third here, it's looking pretty close right now. Kenny just pulling that bit of a gap out front. And Marquetti, I mean, just jumping into this car now in the series, and is not that far off the guys. Obviously, they have a couple more races under their belts, and they're a bit more used to this car, especially on this track after Monday.
Definitely, yeah. And on controller as well. Always impresses me, people playing on controller.
Sometimes on certain tracks I find it could be a bit easier, like maybe a bit less stress like on your body, but yeah, it's the guys get quicker on controller. I'm not going to say I've never met guys that are quicker on controller, because some of them are quicker than guys on wheels, but it's definitely a different type of racing. Yeah,
I've never really tried. I can't say that I've spent a lot of time on controller. Only when my wheel hasn't connected properly, and you have to last minute lunge for your controller and try and complete a race with that.
I played most of Project Cars 1 on controller, so I used to race with the wheel guys on there. Sometimes I feel I was faster back then than I am now.
Kento just lost a bit of speed.
G32 looks like he's having a look.
Making a move.
Yep, so G32's through into third place there now.
And that was just purely like Kento was all over the back of Motormouth, couldn't find a way through, and just came slow off that exit of that corner.
Which was enough for G32 there.
Could shape up to be quite a tasty race between these three guys.
Definitely, I'm looking forward. I mean, you just see a little mistake there from G32, which means Kento is all the way back up on the back of him again. They just got to be worried here now that they're not going to slow each other down to allow Motormouth to just pull a bit of a gap on them.
Meanwhile, you can see Kenny's pulled quite a bit of a comfortable gap already.
With that 144 he just set in the previous lap. Motormouth and G32 on their 146s. Kento a bit slower, but remember that was because he lost the position that lap, so he's probably around the same pace as well. Ooh, a spin there from Motormouth. He's lost it, so G32 and Kento get through. But there's still a lot of race left here, so he can get back into this race if he can put in some quick laps.
That's a shame. I made exactly the same mistake the other night as well. I spun it on that corner, coming off that corner. He just lit up the back end a little bit too much. And,
it's very easy to do that on this track. It's something I remember doing in so many cars here. It's the corners don't seem so difficult, but they actually are. It's very easy to lose the back of the car on these corners.
Plus, with these guys carrying a lot of fuel load as well at the moment, the car's going to be a lot heavier, isn't it? And that's what can just over-rotate that car a bit too much.
And you don't know how much practice they've done with that heavy fuel load either. That's the other thing, is they might have done all their practice with a light amount of fuel. You just see G32 with a bit of a mistake there, and Kento is just sticking right to the back of him now. Just now he runs it wide though.
So these guys, I mean, they're on the edge, aren't they? They're racing hard.
You can see how close those lap times are between those two. So 146.7 and a 146.9, so super close. Kenny, on the other hand, out front, 143. So he's putting in those laps now, straight in the beginning, full fuel load.
That's what I mean, full fuel load, and he's just banged in a fast time that was pretty much on pace with the fastest laps in the sprint race, if not a little bit quicker.
I mean, some of these guys here tonight probably won't even get anywhere near a 143, and that's like Kenny pushing those out on the first few laps of the full fuel.
Yeah.
Very impressive.
Motormouth's got back past Mark QWERTY. Has Mark made a bit of a mistake
He
somewhere?
might have had a spin somewhere.
Just dropped a little bit of time.
But they've still got just over 50 minutes left of this race.
Where's G32's got... Oh, no, it's...
no, he's still in second there.
Dropped a little bit of time, hasn't he? So that's why I couldn't see G32, and it just looked like Kento was on his own.
He's between the two Kens.
Yeah, he's in a Ken sandwich.
Yeah. Lots of Kens, lots of Marks, lots of... We always seem to get lots of certain names in the community.
Yeah. Kento seems to have a good run up this main straight.
There's a couple sections on this track where he really seems to get up right close behind the guys. But it's almost like it's when he's too close, that's when, like, if the car ahead just goes a bit slow, then he has to lose all his speed again and start again.
See, G32 took the defensive inside line there, and Kento was trying to run it round the outside a little bit. But pace of these two guys are this could be a race-long battle all the way to the end.
I think it's guaranteed unless one of them makes a mistake.
That's the thing, it comes down to pressure. Who can handle the pressure the most? And
you see, that kind of thing is Kento was carrying a lot of speed there. I think he had to hit the brake a bit though, so he would have lost a bit of pace, and that's just those little things I think that keep dropping him back slightly, as he just gets a little too close behind the car before making a move. Like he needs to sort of plan on making the move before he gets there.
And that's the thing, isn't it? It's like real life racing. You've got to weigh up your options, size the person up in front of you, and find out where the strong on the track and the weaknesses are, and then plan a move that it's got to work perfectly. The lap times between these two guys, it's got to be a perfect move to carry the speed past. He's strong coming out of here, but
look
I don't
how
think
close
he's
he
going to
is.
have acceleration.
It's almost like one big long car, how close he's getting to him on certain sections. Then you've almost got to think, I mean, if Kento gets out ahead, do you think he can put in slightly faster lap times?
I don't know. I think that the other night, weren't the lap times were pretty close between G32, Kento. I think myself was on the same sort of lap time as well.
I think the lap times are the same, but you just made that mistake early on that dropped you back a bit. But I reckon that should have been about a four-car battle at least from second onwards.
It's just some nights, when you're having a night where it's just not working for you, and it doesn't quite feel right. Something doesn't feel right, and
when everything's out to get you. Like I had one of those nights in the rallycross the other night.
Yeah. You've just got to take it on the chin and hope for the next race is better.
Talking of the rallycross, I wonder if anyone's noticed. Oh shoot, G32. There goes G32. First mistake from him.
He hasn't lost too much time, though. He's still on they've just swapped positions, but yeah, you can see the car just coming round on him a little bit there.
Good recovery, but not what he would have wanted. Now he's on the chase. This is where we'll see if Kento's got that little bit more pace or not. We'll see next lap, I'm sure, when they've put in their lap times. But as I was saying, I don't know if anyone's realized, but we did France now, and we're going to France for the next round of the Rally Fighters. So it was also before this track we did Spain in the KTM series, and we've just finished Spain for the Rally Fighters. So they're sort of following the same sort of sequence, if anyone's realized.
Yeah, it's all to do with the logistics of shipping all the cars out there, getting the drivers out there,
Yeah,
you can see a few of these guys from the rallycross as well, like Mark Quirty, he does it, Kento and Kenny.
Yeah, and travel's tough now in this COVID age.
Race Base is doing their bit to try and help. Kento running it wide there.
But G32 ran it wide as well, so it hasn't hurt him too much. You can just see Kento actually could be pulling a gap there, I think.
I was going to say, he seems stronger in certain areas, but then once you've got an open, clear track in front of you, it's easy to try and carry a bit too much speed, and then I always
think that when you're chasing, it's a bit like, personally for me, I think I'm a better chaser than I am a leader in these races, because when you got a car ahead of you to focus on, it's like it's a point to you say, that's where I need to get in front of that. But when you're in the front, you're just racing yourself, and you've got the pressure of people behind you.
Yeah.
But there's no like goal. There's no I need to overtake that person. So you start sort of losing sometimes where you need to brake or where you need to. Well, for me at least, Kenny seems to do a good job of it.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's pretty much the same. I'd say it's easier to follow someone, and then sometimes when I'm too close to them, I can lose sight of an apex of a corner and stuff. So I like to follow someone at a comfortable distance, but you've always got that challenge of you want to be in front of them, haven't you? But
Definitely.
you can see Kento there with a slightly faster lap, 9/10 faster on that last lap, with both of them having relatively room to play with. So whoever Kento is just going to pull that slight gap away from G32.
I think he will, but let's take a quick look at Kenny doing a lap or two, because I mean he must just be doing some perfect laps now. He's still hitting those. He's on a 143.0 was his last. I mean he's going to hit
nearly in the 142s.
I mean, he could definitely be a 142 by the end of this. If this is what he's running on full fuel, I mean...
Yeah. He's averaging in the 143s. So, I mean, that is super impressive. And
I didn't even know how it's possible. But it obviously is.
I was going to say, my practice runs just before we came on, I thought I was going to be out on track, and... I just played around a little bit with setup and stuff, and I was averaging on the 146s, 147s, and I was happy.
You can see that's what most of the guys are hitting right now. So it's incredible to think that there's people that can race like this kind of thing. For like me, would be like every lap he's done the last couple laps would be a perfect run for me with like no error whatsoever. And to do that comes like once every like couple of races you get one lap like that, but he can just do them consistently, so it's very impressive.
You'd be that mesmerised that you've just done a perfect lap. You'd probably crash on the next lap.
Probably have a big spin.
I'd be looking at the laptop.
You'd be thinking, did I cut a corner or something? What have I done wrong? And while you're busy thinking
yeah, he's definitely got to grips with this car, and
you can see him using curbs and things. He's very comfortable. Even when he gets into the corners, like I don't know if it's just me, but it looks like his car, it's like right on edge. Like it's almost to the point where it's gonna start sliding, but he's just managing to keep that grip as it's going down the corner.
He's slowing down. He must have made a mistake on that last lap. He's done a 144. That is. Did he go in the pits or something?
144.0. I mean, how slow could he go? But no, I mean, that's still that's almost a 143. So he's pretty much in those let's say on average, like high 143s so far.
Yeah.
I mean.
And that's a qualifying lap for me with no fuel, and you know what I mean. That's impressive. Just so smooth. Really got this dialed in.
And it's like it looks like effortless, like not twitchy. He's just clipping what he's got to clip. Yeah, if anyone thinks they can take on Kenny, we welcome you to the series. Come have a go.
Yeah, no, I'm sure Kenny would be up for it, because at the moment he's in a league of his own, isn't he? And
the races so far they've been his to lose.
Yeah, and it was a pit error that wasn't exactly his fault the last time out, was it? Yeah,
you took that win, didn't you? That was.
I did. Yeah.
So we both got the best of Kenny once. So that's why we're on commentary now, because we want to quit when we win. And
that's it. We're done.
Yeah, we've beaten Kenny. There's nothing else left to do.
Yeah, I'll still be talking about it in 2035. You know, I beat Kenny once. You know, Kenny Shep. Yep, I beat him.
We'll bring it up in our next year's commentary in 2021, we're 2021 now. It's 2022. Yeah. We'll be talking about our 2020 victories. Or yours was a 2021, mine was a 2020.
Yeah, it was a good winter season for the commentary car, but I mean that's why you know, Savage Racing employed Kenny is
yeah, get those wins.
Really smooth. Another 143.4 there. So as you say, just hovering around them lap times, isn't he? Just
it's incredible that he can just hit those over and over.
Go back to Motormouth, see how he's gathering.
So he's also on the 146s at the moment. It's also his last one was a bit faster than the two cars ahead of him, but obviously he's a bit behind at the moment. But he's still got 38 minutes to work with.
Yeah, then all your pit strategies are going to come into play. Is when are we going to see these pits? First people diving in there. I like to leave it late myself, just to see how the fuel's getting on, just to make sure that we've got enough in. Whether we need to have a quick splash and dash, as they say.
I also enjoy pitting later, but I think it's usually because everyone pits ahead of me, and then I get to like pretend I'm winning the race for a few laps.
yeah. I know.
Just before Kenny overtakes me. Then when he's coming to overtake me, when he's already pitted, then I pit to make it look like he didn't overtake me.
Yeah. He didn't actually overtake me on track. I had to pit.
Yeah.
Motormouth looking solid. Unfortunate for him for that half spin.
Yeah, it happens to everyone, unfortunately. You get your day. But it's good to see him out, not having too many issues with the cars on this round. He's had some issues in certain other races with the cars.
Definitely has. You look at them lap times now, second, third and fourth, 146.5, 146.3 and 146.8. So if the cars were closer on track...
Kenny's slowing down a bit with the 144.2. Don't know what's happening with him.
They must have a puncture.
Yeah. He had to just pull over for a second.
Just checking on Mark Quirty as well. He's
yeah, it's nice to have him with us here. He's not doing too bad either on his first run with us. He's hit some 148s.
So I mean, all the other guys have had a good run, good few runs in these cars, and
yeah, and they had Monday's race, which they got to grips with the car by the end of that. I mean, that's one of the things that's quite nice about this series, I think, is that you get to do the track twice. So by the time you get here the second time, you should be a bit more clued up. Usually my issue with races when you do it once is that just as you're starting to get to learn the track, and you're done. That's it. You just start going quickly.
Like towards the end of Monday, I'd really learn like the braking points and the apexes of the corners and on how much to brake and stuff. And as you say, that really sets you up ready for this endurance race. So Mark's doing a great job here to
just jump in on this Thursday without the practice or qualifying session. And I mean, he's not necessarily out of the race. We've seen bigger shockers than that. So he just needs to stick in there, keep going, stick it out till the end. Got a 147 there, so he's getting closer to what the guys are setting up front.
Yeah, he's on pace on the lap times, isn't he? it's just coming down to one of the corners that I always find tricky. I always find this one tricky.
It is.
I
This one
always
catches
take
me.
a tight line, but I see a lot of the old people using a wide line and swooping into that. But I can never trust myself that I'm not gonna just drift out wide onto that gravel section, onto the gravel trap.
Yeah, I'm never very sure how to take that corner. I always mess it up, no matter what the car. I lose a lot of speed on it. Even this section is a lot trickier than you would think. I struggle pretty much on the whole track, to be honest. unless it's a rallycross car and I'm sideways.
Yeah.
Ah, there we go. We got our number one fan back tonight. There's Tarzan back on the chat. He was supporting you guys the whole of Monday.
I saw a lot of messages coming up when I was out there racing.
Yeah, he's back. So this is our endurance leg. If you've only just tuned on now, it's the same track as the other day, but now the guys have an hour endurance to do, and they have to pit at least once this go round, and that plays a big part in pit strategy and race strategy. So let's see how that goes for these guys. So far Kenny is blitzing everyone with his 143s that he's consistently been getting throughout this race. In the Savage Racing car out front, Tarzan knows Savage Racing very well. He was one of the original members back in the early days.
Cool. He just banged in a 144.5, so he's
off at that lap. He must have seen something on the side of the track that he was looking at or something, just caught his attention. Maybe there was a bird or something on track, he just had to avoid it.
probably just getting into a comfortable rhythm. And
so you asked earlier, how do you take that corner, and that's how you do it.
Yeah, I just watched his line coming through there, and
he does actually get quite tight on it. So that's I don't think I could do that.
I'll remember that for the next championship that we use this track, and I'll try and follow him round. But unbelievable pace here by Kenny. He's, as you say, he just uses them curbs and stuff, but it doesn't unsettle the car or anything. His throttle control.
A lot of people are afraid to use the curbs in this game.
Yeah,
myself
I
included. Included. I try to avoid them as much as I can. There's some tracks where you have to use them, but I mean, I don't know if I would risk using the curbs too much on this track, but he is getting away with it. He's got it figured out, and it's working for him.
So you can see Kento has pulled quite a comfortable gap now back to G32, hasn't he? He's got his own space as well there now. Just to,
I have to say, I'm starting to not be so impressed by Kento's performances anymore. Like he surprised me in the beginning, but it's becoming a normal thing now for him to do well. He's not shocking me as much, I want to say. He's doing great, and he's been doing great since he started. So it's like it's not as mind-blowing as it was at the start, you know.
Yeah, it's kind of
you're expecting it more now. It's like,
yeah, it's how it was from the rallycross. He made massive improvements all the way through there. Came into the circuit side of the racing, and he's just been a solid contender.
Yeah.
As soon as he's jumped into it, so. And
he's improved in the rally fighters as well. He's been doing an incredible job there, and yeah, he's definitely one of the guys to watch in all the series at the moment. Tarzan just reminiscing. I think that what's that? That's Formula Renaults. He drove here with us quite a while back, way before your time.
was going to say I recognise the name, but I don't think I've ever raced against.
I don't think so. He was in the first season of Rally Fighters, and in a lot of series that we did before that. But yeah, he vanished. I used to game a lot with Tarzan online, but it's very difficult to find these days. Would love to have him back racing though.
I was going to say if he's on the stream from Monday night and he's rejoined on Thursday, there's temptations there. I'd say he's keen to get back out on track with us.
I definitely think we need some of these the guys we used to race with to do some like sort of reunion entries here. We need TK Bear. We need Tarzan. There's a lot of other guys out there. We've had a lot of guys join us over the years. We'd love to get a lot of you back into some of this racing. Tarzan says you'll come out of retirement soon.
That's good to hear, and I think with the way that the world is now, I think everyone is probably got a little bit more spare time on their hands. Obviously, everybody's situation's different in stages of the life that they are and stuff, but I found that this online racing has been helping me through these boredom times where normally I'll be out working and doing stuff other than having the free time to do this.
Yeah, this is pretty much what I've been doing for the last 5 years.
But the more that I do, the more I get into it, you know what I mean? It's just like, and I've been doing this now. I've been doing it. Is it 3 years? Season 2 of Rally Fighters I joined.
Is it 3 years for you? Jeez, then I must have been doing it for like longer. It's definitely not 5 then. I must have been going for like 6 or 7 then.
Yeah, I think you've been on a bit of a...
Jeez.
You've been saying you've been doing it for 5 years since I've joined, mate. So, I mean, you know...
It's because we had those 2 years, or this year included, where it's been locked down. I didn't count that as a year.
No, it's just all blended into one. It's just...
The last 3 years has been one long year.
So, did Kenny pit then? Did we miss that?
I think he has. He has to have to be where he is now, because Kento is coming up on the back of him by the looks of things. Otherwise, he's had a major spin that we missed.
I think I just sort of clocked someone coming out of the pits, but yeah, we totally missed that. So
Tarzan says this makes him feel old. He's younger than me though, so
all right, okay. Yeah. Nobody's as old as... I think Motormouth's the oldest one, isn't he?
He's one of them. I'm not sure if there's anyone older. We've had some older guys, I think, over the years, but currently, I think he's one of the oldest.
He won't mind us saying. I know he won't get offended. But we have actually missed him. Mark Quirty's up into 4th and Motormouth's down into 5th. So
I wonder if it was also a pit of his spun. Probably a spin, because I didn't see that many pit things come up, unless it doesn't come up on my screen.
And Mark's not too far in front of him, so I wouldn't say it was a pit. So apologies for that we missed lots of action there, but we were down
too much
memory
about
lane
the old days, and
yeah.
Whenever I do any sort of maths to try to figure things out, then I lose concentration on anything else. I got to use all my fingers and get it right. So
that's alright. I have to run downstairs and ask my missus to can you just add this up for me and just do this? So it's
yeah, we got the two worst mathematicians on commentary tonight. missing berries, and I think Motormouth's actually quite good at maths too. He's got a good brain on him for maths.
Commentary with him one night, and he just worked out lap time and fuel ratio, and it was just like, what are you doing to me here? It's just like, how are you doing that?
And that's probably what he does when he races. Me, on the other hand, I'm like, yeah, that looks about long enough. It should be enough. Like
finish a race with like 40 litres left.
Yeah, I haven't run out of fuel quite yet, so I don't think I will in however many laps.
But yeah, Mark Quirty will be happy with that first race out in this championship with us, and in front of Motormouth is gaining a little bit on that last lap. He's took.
I have to say,
I'm going to say 3 seconds, but that's all I'm looking at. I'm not looking at temps.
It's been a bit like I've lost my train of thought now. I want to say it's been a bit upsetting not to see the Matsutsi brothers out on track, because they always give a good show in these races. They usually give Kenny a bit more of a fight as well, because they're quite quick, those two.
There's always one of them that ends up really hassling them all the way through, and obviously they have the rivalry between the two brothers as well.
I think
you can see that
slows them both down a little bit at times. I've seen it before, when they're pushing each other wide.
So G32 is in the pits at this point, so Kento will be looking to put in some fast laps now, won't he, to make sure that he still comes out in front, but all depending on if anyone goes for a tyre change.
Yeah, you got to wonder now. Kento, he was leading when G32 went into that pit, so he might just answer back straight away. That could be a strategy, because he could have the time right now to do that. If he leaves it too long and G32 comes out with some faster laps, he could leave it let G32 gain the advantage by putting in faster laps. So it's Kento. I mean, if I was in his position now, it would be stuff that's on my mind. As I would be thinking, what's the plan here? Can I continue to put in my decent lap times? I mean, he's still on a 146, which he was setting earlier, which seems to be his sort of general good solid pace. But as soon as he starts dropping, I mean, that's when I would start thinking of pitting. He's going to answer back right now.
Now I'm going to wonder whether he's going to go for a tyre change, because I spoke to him after the sprint race the other night, and he asked me about tyre wear, and he said, because I was like, even in this race, he was halfway through his tyre tread depth.
Yeah.
So it looks like he's got
That was super quick. That's too quick. If he's changed anything, I mean, it can't be a lot, because that
is a simple minimum repair, if anything. Yeah,
So I'm gonna just guess that he didn't change his tires.
Nope. And I've actually worked out that I was using the wrong pit lane the other night as well. I was going all the way down the wall and then coming out further up. So yeah, that's highlighted that for me. That's how much I've raced on this track.
It's always a thing when you do these championships and you haven't done a track for long. You have to try figure out where the pit entry was.
Yeah, where them cones are, to make sure your pit speed limit is correct and stuff. But so how far is G32? So there's quite a big gap between G32 and Kento now.
But now you don't know if Kento's tires have worn too much, if it's going to start affecting his lap times later. So when he gets a good proper lap, like this one wasn't a fast one because he was in the pit, but I mean, when he starts getting his next laps going, it'll be interesting to see if he can start getting those times back into the 146s that he's been setting. G32 will probably be on some new tires, so he should be able to get back to the times he was setting earlier.
See, Mark Quirty's in the pits at the moment. He's decided the time's right for him. Seems to be spending quite a long time in the pits, but he's on his exit.
So, I mean, G32 must be thinking right now, that was the quickest pit stop I've ever seen from someone ahead. I think that would have messed with his mind a bit.
I think that's what I did last time out as well in Spain. I could see Kenny had some issues in the pits, so I chose a pit selection that didn't need anything. It was just pull into the box. I think there's a minimal repair for the engine, maybe a little bit of engine damage, and you're straight back out. And that's the rules of this championship, and as long as you do go into the pits,
as long as you go into that box, then you're good to go.
Yep.
But it's definitely, I mean, that would shock me if I was in G32's position now. I'd be thinking, how on earth did he pit so quickly? And then I'd almost now you want to push as quick as you can, you know, and that could lead to some mistakes while you're pushing so hard. So a bit of a mental game being played by Kento there with that quick pit, I think.
Well, I think that was right, as you said, with the time difference that was already between G32 and Kento. Kento was spot on to react to G32's pit on the next lap.
I mean, I reckon he could have probably changed his tyres and still just got out ahead if he had a good stop, if there was no problems in the pit. But then he just was so quick through there. I mean, that's what the shock is going to be for G32 now, is he would be expecting a longer stop that he could sort of close that gap again, but he couldn't do that at all. Now he's just got to do it all out on track. You see Kento set a 147, so not quite in the 46s, and now you got to think, is it just because he's made a bit of a mistake, or is that sort of what his tyres are allowing him to do at the moment?
G32 on a very similar pace. Look at that, 147.4, so no massive difference between them at the moment.
So far it's working out in Kento's favour there. Anyone else that's going to be racing against Kento in this championship probably going to be looking at that strategy now, and that'll play into how they approach a race with Kento in the future. You'd be looking for that little quick pit move.
I mean, albeit said, like, if I was out there on track at the moment and I hadn't had any mistakes with the pace that I feel that I'd have, I feel that Kento would be in front of me, and I'd probably be either somewhere between G32 and Kento, or even with G32. The pace that they're running at,
I'd probably be at the back on this track. I spin every championship I've ever done here. I have too many spins. Too much full send.
It surprised me. I thought I was quite comfortable in these cars, and even in the road version. And I struggled in the road version, really. I couldn't find a nice grippy balance where I could make the car dance a bit. I like the car to move underneath me, and it would just let go and spin. So whether that's down to the style of the track or the lack of experience on this track, it's not one that I can say that I've ever done a championship race on. It's just maybe the odd fun lobby here and there.
I've done the Le Mans endurance version a couple of times as well, which is much longer, obviously.
Yeah.
You can just see that's Kenny coming up on the back of Motormouth. He's coming to lap one of the back markers. Pity for Motormouth, because he had a good sprint the other night. He wasn't wasn't seeming so slow. He came second in that one. So I wonder if he's run into some issues or if he's just had a few more spins.
It's probably because Carlo isn't here, Matsuti, whose car that Motormouth is using. Carlo hasn't released the update for the car, and we saw it launch off the line the other night. It seemed to really
he had an epic start.
Yeah.
It's because the Matsuti brothers aren't maintaining the car tonight. There's no special devices added to it.
It will get investigated at the end of the championship. I'm having that into the scrutineering area. Full strip down.
They never added the Italian secret weapon. The Italian secret sauce wasn't added to the car tonight.
Mama's secret sauce. There used to be an advert in Britain with that on. I think it was Dolmeo, kind of like lasagna sauce.
You're trying to get some sponsorship here from Dolmeo.
It's a long time since I've mentioned any sponsors.
Yeah, we try to get some more. Plug a couple.
We've tried all the energy drink.
None of which got back to us yet.
Them. Yeah, no, they're dead to me. I'm not gonna.
Unless they don't want to be dead to us, so then they can get hold of us. But
yep. Kyle's phone number is 07944. But no, I mean, now we're going to lasagna sauce or anything. We're not fussy on
we're
any
open
sort
to
of
anything.
sponsors. Yep. Coffee, if you're a coffee brand and you want to get into sponsorship and stuff, we don't cost much, do we, Carl? I mean, just a yacht or something like that. That'll do.
Or two. There's two of us.
Well, no, we could share one. We're not greedy.
A speedboat. It doesn't have to be a yacht.
Be cool.
A jet ski.
Yeah.
A model boat. I don't know, like a remote control thing. Kenny made a mistake. Kenny, is that into a wall? Has he got damage? That's the question.
Doesn't look like he's got any major damage. Front end looks okay, but yeah, that was coming out of that same corner that Motormouth had that half spin on last time.
Yeah, so that one's caught a couple guys out now.
I bet he'll still go bang in a 144 or 145.
Yeah. This will be his 146 lap where he gets what the rest of the pack are getting with his spin.
Yeah, but that what's that? He's still got 32 seconds on Kento. So he's comfortable with that, but
he's still in the clear, so he's lucky he's got that much space to work with. But he won't be wanting to do any more of those, especially so close to a wall, because that's all you need is to. If you get damage in this now, that's probably going to have to be another pit.
Yeah, and that 32 seconds would disappear if he had to pit again, but.
I mean, we saw
nothing
that
looking visually on my screen.
Pit strategy of his, the last big endurance we did, he had to pit like 3 times, so that's what lost it for him.
Yeah. So he must have either just switched off or whether something else.
Unless he's listening to us with our talk and he got distracted by the sauce sponsor you were trying to get us there.
Yeah, car just looks a little bit twitchy coming into that section there. He looked a bit twitchy. So maybe we should get sponsored by a tyre company or something. Pirelli P0.
You're just going to keep throwing names out there till we get something. The first phone call we'll get will probably be, please don't use our name on your stream.
Well, that's up to them. I mean, They'll have to pay me not to use it.
Yeah.
It's
Sponsored. The first thing sponsored not to use something.
you can see Kenny just go off track a bit. Look there.
He's going
He's
into the
coming
pits.
into pits again.
He's got damage.
So he has got damage.
Or he
So
didn't
this
pit. Or he didn't
Kento-
pit earlier.
No, he did. He pitted earlier because Kento was right onto the back end of him. So
then it's a second pit here. He could have that. That could be why his car was twitchy.
So let's check on Kento. Where is he on track, and
So
how stable is his car
Kento
feeling?
is going to be like really like excited now. He'll be pushing. I mean, he's close, but it looks like
If you're anything
Kenny's
like
moving.
me,
Kenny's moving already in that pit.
is he? So it was a quick.
He's gonna
What
push.
was that then? Would that wouldn't be tyres? Would it that quickly?
Just repairs probably for Kenny.
Just quick repairs. But
Probably some
Kento's-
suspension damage.
It's got to be close. You do pick up speed quickly out
Well,
of
he's-
that pit entry.
He's about a turn, like a corner away from Kenny now, where he was quite a bit more of a distance before. So it's put the race back into a position where, I mean, Kento could, if things
8
go wrong
minutes
again,
left.
if things go wrong again there for Kenny, Kento could take this one. So Kenny's just got to be a bit worried at the moment. Just needs to get back into his rhythm.
Let's just stay on board with Kenny. Just see how his car looks on this next couple of laps. See whether it looks stable or whether he's, because he looked a bit twitchy before he dived into them pits. So as you say, he had a little bit of maybe suspension damage, just unsettling the car that he couldn't seem to drive it with. But
And he's not looking like he made that mistake like he did the last week, where he had like he somehow knocked the button for some kind of auto drive, which drove his car super slow for a lap, automatically around the track. But he's looking okay now. So, I mean, I don't see that he would need to pit again, unless there's just something that he's not getting when he goes in the pits that he's been trying to get. Can see Kento there, so
yeah,
it's within range.
rest of the guys, G32 still in third, Motormouth fourth, and Marquardt in fifth, and Motormouth and Marquardt on the last lap, virtually identical on lap time. There is a bit of a gap between them. G32 seems
Super
to be
close, and
his own room.
Kento with that 146. I mean, remember we think he didn't pit and change his tires, so I mean he's still putting in the laps that he's been putting in the whole time so far.
Yeah. The lower end as well, 46.2 is one of his quicker laps, I'd say.
Yeah.
I don't think did he drop into the 145s before? I don't know.
I don't think so. I think it's been pretty solid 46s, and he got a couple 47s when he makes a mistake here and there, but it's pretty much just been 46s and 47s for Kento. Whereas we know that Kenny was, I mean, he was setting those 43s and 44s in his worst laps, so just shows what a big mistake that was for him. That now he's got a car within range that's been setting quite significantly slower lap times. But yeah, this is racing. This is what happens. It's not over till you cross that finish line.
See a little bit of movement coming out through them. That chicane there, his car just had a bit of a twitch, but all under control. But
could also be
just
as the car becomes less heavy with the fuel, I suppose. Starts behaving a little bit differently.
I know these cars do seem a little bit more stable with a heavier fuel load. So what's that, 144.3?
And he's got 5 minutes left here.
See there, sponsored by Dunlop. Just a quick mention.
He's just plugging everything. Anything. As you can see, there's a grain of sand on the side of the track. Grain of sand.
Yeah. Oak Tree sponsors. Anyone out there called Oak Tree? They can sponsor us. I think I saw Rolex before. I think they're on the finishing line. So that'd be a nice sponsor.
They could help us with
Rolex.
timekeeping. Yeah.
Yep. Yep. I could do with a good stopwatch. You know, like one of them old pocket watches. I could have one of them. They're nice.
Yeah.
Kenny looking pretty stable though now. I don't think.
I mean, I think he's back into those laps now. He's looking like he's
had his wake up call, hasn't he?
Kento, though, we just said that we don't think he's been in the 145s. He's in the 145s.
Yeah. So he's getting faster.
I think it's also, he's had a taste now. He knows that he could, if Kenny makes a mistake, he could be there to clean up, basically. So he's going to be pushing now. This is his last couple laps he's got before the race is over. So he's going to be giving it his best shot now. Another 145.
And the good thing is we could start engraving the trophy because it's definitely a Ken that's gonna win this. So I'll start engraving the trophy and pretty certain on that. But
yeah, until they both have a mistake, and then you got to somehow hatch it out and write G.
Sorry, the trophy looks a bit scruffy, but we thought one of the Kens was going to win that race.
Yeah.
Anything could happen. This is racing. I mean, Kenny does look pretty stable on track again now. He's had his wake-up call, and
Kento looking faster than he has been for most of the race. So still a close one. Let's take a look at Kento setting some of those really quick times now.
Car obviously getting a bit lighter, and it's working for his setup. Nice use of curb there,
Yeah,
and
he's looking smooth.
Not cutting the corner too much.
He's definitely found what works for him here.
Yeah. .145.9 and Kenny's on a 145.0.
So that's really good from
Good lap
Kento.
time.
He's solid now in those 145s. I'm going to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if he manages to squeeze a win into this championship still. We've still got quite a few races left.
Definitely.
All it's going to take is for a couple of the guys like Kenny and whatever to make a mistake or two, and Kento will be there to clean up. He's looking consistent.
And hopefully on the next round we're going to have Carlo Mazzucci back on track. His wheels should be fixed, and
Hopefully Ali won't be working, because Ali
Roy
has had some work that got in the way, that he hasn't been able to race with us for a while, but we hope to see him back, hope to see his brother
Roy as well.
Roy, and, Pressure, whose wheel is bust, we'd like to see him back. We'd like to see Davy back. He made an appearance. BT, my brother, if he gets an opening with what his new school that he started at now.
School's overrated anyway. Yeah, you need to tell him that.
Once we get sponsored by our source company. Anyways, we're on the last second here, so it looks like there'll be another lap there for Kenny to do.
Kenny's just gone over here, so onto the final lap. Let's see if there's any dramas with the race leader. He looks fast and looks stable, so all under control.
And like we
now.
said earlier as well, if Tarzan joins, if everybody that signed up for this championship actually managed to join, we'd have quite a full lobby here.
If you got
also
12
remember
of
Tarmac,
these cars on this track,
Tarmac, which
Tarmac.
is G32's teammate. Haven't seen him in a while.
A lot of people are off playing another game that I think is, I'm not going to say anything about it, but it's overrated. I mean, this is where the racing's at. I mean, you want to get back on track here.
Definitely.
This is.
I mean, look at Kenny. This is the competition. We're looking at this is what you race for, is to beat guys like Kenny.
Yep. Corner cut, Stewart's inquiry on that one. 7-second penalty. Will that drop him behind? No, still going to win it with that. But, no, he's done a good job, Kenny, and sliding the car
there.
right now. Yeah,
that was risky, but we like it.
God, give us a big donut over the line or something. But
I think
good job by Kenny.
He's definitely going to donut once he's crossed that line.
Definitely is. We're going to flick back quickly to Kento.
Lights.
Massive job by Kento, and I'm worried by him. You go on.
Well,
on
me
track
too.
now
I mean, where are we going to next? It's going to be.
I think you're right next.
Germany next. That's me. So I'm up against Kento next. That's
G32. A little bit back. Just going to flip back to the leader. He's just sat there, so we'll flip back to G32. He's had a good performance, and he's had some good, solid results. G32. I think
he has. He's had a lot of podiums. I think.
Yeah. So he's always going to be racking up the points overall in the championship.
Solid competitor. He flashes his lights as well for us as he goes over. Motor Mouse just struggled a little bit more tonight than he did on Monday. He seems to struggle a bit more with the endurances. I don't know if it comes down to like race strategy, maybe fuel wise.
I think some of the personal aspects of it, we know Motormouth does suffer with certain kind of health issues which just affects his strength overall in his upper body, which is needed, but whether that comes into the endurance side of it, that's up to him. But I think there was he's
full send there before he's crossed the line.
How far away is Mark Quirty? He's pretty safe.
That looked pretty.
He's going to reverse it over the line.
That looked pretty cool in the KTM. Maybe we must do a KTM Rally Fighters class.
But no, I mean, like, look at them lap times midfield. Even Mark Quirty as well, 1:47. So them guys are all pretty close. It's just down to the odd mistake here and there, isn't it? And
it's a very close class. This, I mean, other than Kenny and sometimes those Matsutsis with their crazy fast times, most of the guys are pretty close.
You can see Michelin just up in the right-hand corner as well.
Another shout-out there. You should write down how many shout-outs we've had here. Okay, Tony G32 there says he thinks he might win the age prize. He's 63 last week. So I think G32 there could be the oldest right now currently in the community.
Yeah, happy belated birthday to you.
Yeah, happy birthday. I wonder if he started racing when he was 32. That's a lot of years.
But no, I mean, like that just, you know what I mean, like the age gap between everybody out on track at that time. Yeah, everyone's out on track and everyone's doing solid performances. I mean, you know, G32, he's 63 last week and he's just come away with a third. I mean, Mark Quirty, I'm not sure on his age. Kento, he's 37, I think. Kenny, I think he's around 32, 33 age. You know what I mean? It's everyone's out there just enjoying it.
If you look at our lineup tonight, it's quite a lot of the sort of older guys. We do have a lot of younger guys as well, but a lot of them not here tonight.
I'm only 17.
And then you woke up and it was just a dream.
Yeah. I'm 17 in my mind, but 40 in my body.
Yeah, I mean that's quite a bit younger than me. Then, if you're 17, I mean I'll be 27 this year.
Yeah.
But as G32 there says, age is just a number. But I think that's one of the cool things about like racing and stuff is it doesn't really matter what your age is. You're going up against guys that are young, guys that are old, and everyone can win, and that's sort of what makes it exciting, I suppose.
Definitely is.
But yeah, it's been fun, guys. This was a good race, and congrats to Kenny once again on his win. Yeah, there we go, 53 there from Scott. In 16 days, so he's got a birthday coming up there.
Well, don't expect a card off me.
That's why Ratek's been calling out these sponsors. He's trying to get birthday cards for you guys from all these different names he's been shouting.
You made me thought of another one, moonpig.com. Yeah, I mean we could get some of these big internet ones on. I'll tell you, mate. Anyone that's up there for a bit of sponsorship, more than welcome. Please get in contact with us on the Discord chat. You're more than welcome.
Thanks, guys. It's been good racing tonight. Thanks to our fans that watched. Tarzan, we'll hold you to it. You said you'd come out of retirement soon. We will bug you every day until you do now. I will get guys on
great to see him.
We'll get 5 different people to message you every day now until you join.
I'll spam him. I'll get a spam company involved.
Yeah. Anyways, guys, it's been good. Hope to see some more guys join soon, and some of the guys that have been joining back with less issues than what they are having now. Thanks for the racing. Thanks for watching. Good night.
Catch you guys later.